Stream is offline. Why are we offline? Stream is offline. Oh, wait. Wait, are we streaming or not? I'm confused. It's kind of just streaming now. But, oh god, do we have like chats, multiple chats going and shit? I don't even know what the fuck's going on. Oh. I'm live. Apparently. Creative highlights where I live. Okay. Do. Info and settings. Stream now. So I guess I'm in here with 9 viewers. I had... Oh god. I get this whole like chat fucking more than one chat thing going. Well, that's awesome. Alright, see if we can get this going another way. Do. Sign out. Sign in. Hi, cat. Meow!
That's not the long and short of it.
I'm a cat and I refuse to wait a half hour before I get fed because I'm being a bastard.
Merry Christmas.
Why don't you not do that? You are not the cat of Christmas Meow. He's the ghost of Christmas Meow.
He is a
Fucking
shit.
damn. Yeah. Well, he's doing that thing where Cat's doing that thing where he's just being a little bastard. Yeah, so give me the chat, guys. View on watch page. Okay. No. Live dashboard. I'm live. My stat stream is good. Broadcast alerts none. Live chat opening a new window. Oh, hey. Whoa, hey. Oh, man. There we go. All right, I think we got this thing working now. All right, so I see we got some new people. A guy named Pierre Simeon Advati. Okay. Yeah. Feeder ape is a what? Feeder ape? What the fuck? I don't even know what that is. I can see the bottom of the bowl. It's right. You can see the bottom of the bowl. Guess what? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. He's gonna keep doing this?
So just feed him.
Yeah, just feed him. Like,
Give up.
I give up. You know, like...
He loves you.
Yeah, why doesn't he just come in here and, like, sit on my lap and purr or something? No. I'm convinced he's trying to get me to hunt with him.
I think he might be. He looks very feral right now.
He's like, come outside and hunt mice. You're gigantic. You'll be great. You can just step on them. You just step on them. Step on them.
We are all out of food.
Oh. Does anyone know what happens when you leave a Behringer mixer running 16 hours a day? Oh, never done that. I remember the Bill and Ted DVD series, or fucking... Okay, so here's what you gotta know when you're talking about Bill and Ted the TV series. There are actually two of them. There's a cartoon, and then there's a live action one. You didn't know this? Yeah, there was a live action Bill and Ted series and a cartoon Bill and Ted series. Neither of which had either Alex Winters or Keanu Reeves in it. And I'm pretty sure the cartoon, I think had George Carlin in it, but I know the live action one didn't. The live action one absolutely did not. That was some bullshit. It was weird. So the main reason I'm streaming right now is because I'm in the middle of the final episode of War on Christmas. Oh, man. And I just all of a sudden, like, this fucking burned out. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the timeline, I've got all my elements, I'm just like, I have to make a replacement dialogue here. Hour later, I got nothing. So, yeah, I hit a very frustrating part of production, which is when you've kind of burned out, but there's still a lot of work to do. And you're like, what the fuck do I do? You know, I mean, this isn't bucket list shit. Like, this has got to be done. Like, in 24 hours, this thing better be finished. You know? Whew. Oh, got some... That's why the Countess was like, you're streaming for an hour. You need to fucking talk to people, something.
Talk to people, get your spirit back.
I can't get a blowjob while that happens, can I?
No.
It's always one or the other with you.
It is. It's rude not to give them your full attention.
Oh, but it's incredibly sexist to you.
This is not helping.
What are you talking about? That's all the helping.
You have a very strange definition of helping.
That is totally helping. That would totally help me. Although, really, one of the problems is getting a blowjob in a chair. It's actually not great.
And hard on the knees.
It's hard on the knees. We need to get you knee pads. Get you knee pads. That'll help.
How thoughtful of you.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I thought, you know what? I'd take a time to. I did get, some people did send me gifts this year. I was pretty happy about it. I got a shelf from Jimmy, who's often in the chat. It's back there, unassembled. I won't have time to assemble it until Christmas Day. Horror Guru got me a copy of El Topo on Blu-ray because I don't have it on Blu-ray. Really good movie. I believe it was crap, I don't know what to call her because I know her by two names and one of them is like a name I shouldn't use publicly. Fuck.
Stay awesome person.
Awesome person, and you know who you are. Sent me a copy of Holy Mountain on Blu-ray. That was great. Um, hey Yogi, how you doing? Oh man. Ugh. Throw me. Yeah, horror guru. Speaking of like hanging out with your conservative family all Christmas, that is what the horror guru is doing. He ain't too happy about it. Ain't that great? You know, he believes in family and family duty, but like, that bites him in the ass. Right now, his ass is getting bitten, but no one's eating it out. It's the worst. I imagine that's the worst of all possible outcomes. Oh, great, people are fucking biting. It's biting me in the ass, but my ass ain't getting eaten. It's just getting eaten. That's no good. That's no good. Can't do that. That's some fucking bullshit. Oh, fucking. Fucking annoying orange. Remember when that was like the height of YouTube? It was fucking annoying orange. He's like the thing on the site with the most subscribers. It was crazy. I didn't get it. Jack, what should I watch first? Creep Show, Trick or Treat, or The Shining? Ooh. Okay. This is a very important question. In a row, in one sitting, or you're just trying to figure out which one you should watch next, and then you'll watch another movie later on another night? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if it's a marathon, just take The Shining off the list, because that is a movie that you just need to watch. We get tons of time on your hands, and just watch it, because it's a slow movie. It's a very, very slow flick. It's a good movie, but it's very slow. So if you end with that, you got to pass out. If you start with that, you might not want to go to the next movie. And if it's in the middle, you're going to be sitting there going, oh my God, something fucking happened. So don't do that to yourself. I take that off the list if it's a single sit. If you're just like, yeah, I just want a single sit movie, I'm going to sit, I'm just going to watch the fuck out of this movie. Yeah, Shining's a great choice. But if you're going to marathon something, take it off the list, fucking just watch Creep Show and then Trick or Treat. Whew. All right. You're going to watch The Shining. Okay. Hey, Jackula, how do we find the video where you saved the nerd guy from deathbed? I didn't save nobody from deathbed. What are you talking about? I didn't save no nerd guy from deathbed. What are you talking about? Deathbed eats me. So, Jack, important question. I've been thinking of taking some psychedelics to supplement art. What would you recommend to me? Oh, okay. It just. You're gonna make a huge mess. You're gonna make a huge mess on purpose. Because all of a sudden you're gonna be there and you're like, the canvas is in my mind, man. And you're just gonna go start painting on the wall. And then there'll be paint splotches on the carpet, and then you'll be like, oh man, I got paint on the carpet. Whoa, look at it. I should put more paint on the carpet.
That is how we got
That's yeah.
the dark glitter on our
Yeah. That's exactly how that happened. So you could be like, so don't. And then you're gonna go to a mirror because like maybe you need to wash your hands or wash out a brush, and you're gonna go, I should paint on myself. And then you do that.
So I haven't answered which psychedelics, though.
Oh, which psychedelics? I recommend either mushrooms. Those are pretty good. If you've never done LSD before, strap in. That's mushrooms on fucking octane fuel. Ecstasy might be good, but what you're really going to want to do on ecstasy is touch things. You're really going to want to touch things, and then you're really going to want to talk to someone and tell them how much you love them. Maybe dance, yeah. You know, if you're questioning your sexuality, like that's a very good drug to figure that out. Because you find yourself going like, oh, apparently I can just stick my dick in a guy. Okay, all right, awesome. If you can get it up, yeah, that's the trick. You know, e-dick is a thing because it's. Yeah. Having an erection requires a level of relaxation that is kind of hard on ecstasy. Not saying you can't do it. Just saying, gotta try a little more. You know, being on acid and E for me, I can usually maintain an erection until about 3 hours after the peak. And then after that, it's usually like, I'm too tired. Either that or like you realize you've been going for like 2 hours and you're like, I'm probably chafing. I should probably stop. Dehydration is also a potential problem when doing that. Yeah, always remember, drink water. You know, remember the real world doesn't end just because you have entered Neverland. These two things run concurrently. So a car that is coming towards you is real. You know, it's real. And if you see a giant crocodile coming towards you, assume that it's real. But if you're not in Florida, and it's a choice between running towards a crocodile and running towards a car, and you can only do one, crocodile is probably the fake thing. Probably. But if you're in Florida, like, fucking all bets are off, man. Like, you're on your own. Like, little do you know that's why so much weird shit happens in Florida. Everyone thinks it's because everyone's an idiot. No, it's actually crocodiles. Fucking alligators, man.
And meth lab users.
No, it's the alligators, I'm telling you. They cast magic on you. I mean, you didn't even know this. But there's a type of alligator that can swim in asphalt. That's why sometimes you'll see a speed bump and you're like, oh my God, the speed bump looks like an alligator. You gotta be careful. Could be an alligator in disguise.
Especially if you're on mushrooms.
Especially on mushrooms. Yeah. Mushrooms you'll see the alligators. You know. We walk around the park, and you'll be like, hey, here's a nice asphalt road. Whoa! There's an alligator in the middle of it. Be careful. Do you have any stories about people who mix psychedelics? I am a walking story of a person who mixed psychedelics.
Go ahead, tell them about the aliens.
Tell them about the aliens? Oh, geez. Okay, God. What was that? Do you think? Yeah, that was acid and ecstasy.
That was probably 15 hits.
That was 15. I think 15 is a conservative estimation.
Far too much.
Yeah.
Just go with that. And also, you smoked a bit of pot.
No, that happened later.
Oh, okay.
That happened later. That was when Jim was like, you need to chill out after that all happened. You know, after the aliens had transported me up to the White Room and we had our conversation about the nature of reincarnation. I came down, I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do. Like, Yeah, he's like, hey, dude, need to take the edge off? Smoke pot. He just handed me a fatty, and I was like,
That's the end of the story.
yeah, that's the end of the story. That's the end of the story. Smoke pot is where that ended up. You know.
Talking about the beginning.
God damn it. You think your dick is gonna eat you? No. What are you talking about? No, your dick. No. When I'm on fucking acid, my dick is amazing. You know, it's one of the greatest things ever. Like, no, I'm serious. Like you put me on acid, particularly if you put me on acid and ecstasy, but just acid alone, I am fucking vibrating, and everything in the world is a woman who wants me to stick my cock in her. That's just the way it is. Well, I never. Okay, except for that one time, I never actually went through with it. I know that wasn't. I wasn't the one who did on the couch. Because I thought that was a little too gross. Because someone's got to have to sit there. Was it the table? I think it was a table. Yeah. Yeah, because it was made of wood. And so I was kind of imagining it was like a dryad that had kind of been shaped into a table. And I was like, all right, let's do this.
Probably more details than they wanted.
Well, he told me to talk about it.
I told them to talk about the aliens. And what we learned about liquids.
Oh yeah, liquid acid condenses. As it evaporates, there's not less LSD in the mixture. There's just less suspension. What this means is if you have a full bottle of acid and then you put it away and you come back and there's only half as much liquid, do not assume that your roommates have been dipping into it. They may not have been. So when it goes all the way down to like the last few drops, and you're like, you motherfuckers, you took it without me. Well, I'm taking the last 3 drops for myself. If you've left that bottle in there for like 8 months, it might be more than 3 hits you're taking. A lot more. It might be a lot more. Yeah. I have a hard time like following the chat sometimes because sometimes it's just like it just scrolls by, and one of the problems that I have is the chat log itself fucking gives me shit. So if I scroll back too much, like it has a seizure, you know, like fucking YouTube, man, fucking YouTube. How about this? What drug should I take to get deeply in touch with my emotional self? Oh, that's ecstasy.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's MDMA. You know, to make sure you get the MDMA. You don't want anything else. You know, I wouldn't even necessarily recommend DMT for that. Because DMT is a little bit more like getting in touch with the God state. That's different. Now that's cool because it only lasts for like 15 minutes. But you know, if you want to stay in that place for a little while, I recommend LSD. Any fun conventions or LARPing stories? Oh wait, what's this? It involves alien shit, neo-Nazis, and a prostitute with an ass for breasts and breasts for ass cheeks. Whoa. This sounds like a movie I need to see. What is this? A sequel to Tromeo and Juliet. What? Oh, it's a movie dude is working on. Harrison Halifax. Okay. Funny LARPing stories. I don't know.
Jamie and the Cthulhu game?
Nah. I always thought that was fun, but that was like kind of cringy fun.
Shaking hands with the vice president?
Shaking hands with the vice president.
Neon City?
Oh my god, Neon City. Fucking
Nefarious purposes?
cloning Jesus for nefarious purposes. Well, like, fucking. So much we did in that game actually turned out to fucking happen. You know, in the words of Alan Moore, well, if you didn't want it to happen, maybe you shouldn't have written it down. Yikes.
Tell them about Neon City.
Oh, actually, I got an idea. Is Yogi still around, or is he like, did he like just come in and leave? I used to play like Vampire the Masquerade LARPs. Man, those were wow. I always felt really weird. Yeah, Yogi, why don't you get on Skype and we'll like chat for half hour or so. I think I could use some like voice to voice. But yeah. Well, while we're setting that up, like fucking yeah, I used to meet in like all kinds of vampire LARPs. Man, they always, how to put it, like vampire LARPs go through. Vampire LARPs are like online discussion. The minute politics enters it, it's fucking over, but no one goes home. Everyone just keeps bitching, and they play, and they talk about how much the fucking game has changed, man. And you're sitting there from the outside going like, dude, I have this entire plot line where we're going to take over the city to defend it from demons. That was pretty cool, but instead you went in the direction of playing pretend power games with other people in the game. And it's just the fucking cattiest, bitchiest goddamn thing in the fucking world. You know, like, oh my god, I don't like this person. I'm going to move against them politically. Blah, 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 blah. It's for fake shit. It's fake shit. It's not even shit you can hold. It's not even like, hey, you become Prince of the City. Here, have a pin. No, you don't even get that. Like, your whole job as Prince of a city, by the way, we discovered, is to keep everyone playing by insulting everybody and making them very uncomfortable. When you play the Prince of the City, that's your fucking job. Your fucking job is to keep these assholes occupied so they don't fucking descend into high school politics. It was like fucking proto-Tumblr. These Vampire the Masquerade LARPs. Like, I go on Tumblr and I see like the same fucking attitudes. It was probably why I had such a bad reaction to Tumblr. And I was like, oh my god, that's like oppressive, and I think you just don't like me because I'm a girl, and I'm a god. Fuck you. Oh my god. I'm trying to do my fucking demons taking over the city plot, bitch. You in or not? Well, I'm really not here for like the adventure. Then get the fuck out. Pretend to be a vampire and bother someone else's time, bother them. I'm here because I thought pretending to be a vampire is gonna be awesome. But no, it's not awesome. It's not awesome at all. And at the center of it are always like two girls who are like gay for each other, but like won't admit it. There's always those two girls. It's weird. You know, it's like, why don't you just fucking start dating or whatever? So they get some fucking cucky guy to fucking sit in the middle of them.
Don't use that term.
Why not? Why shouldn't I?
He was just gay.
He wasn't just. I don't even. Do we even know that? Like, do we even know that?
Yeah, it seemed pretty.
We don't know that. We don't know that that guy was gay. Like, if he had been, that'd have been one thing. You know, but he was completely playing the cuck game in that thing. I mean, you fucking knew it.
He looked good in panties.
He was a really good-looking guy.
In panties.
He was a really cute-looking guy. Yeah, even in panties. Even they dressed him up like a girl. He looked super hot when you did that, by the way. But, no, apparently he is not interested in the Jackula. I am, like, you know, too aggressive pussy.
You are aggressive.
I am aggressive. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm not gonna Twitter behind a fan like some fucking, like, heroine in a fucking Victorian age novel.
Well, no.
No, I want to fucking put my cock in that ass. What the fuck?
Yeah, I remember you're 21.
You know, like, there's none of this.
You tittered a lot more at 21.
Not around guys. Not around guys. I was fucking. No, with guys, it was always like, hey, you wanna? And they were always like, oh, no, I'm not gay. Fuck you then. You know? And that's why I say he's not gay, because that's what he told me. And if that was just a cop-out, fuck him. You know? Fuck him. Screw it.
The problem is all your metaphors here are about having sex, not having sex.
What are you talking about?
Fuck him, screw it.
Fuck it. Well, what else am I supposed to say? What else am I supposed to say? Like, the guy, yeah, fuck that. So, yeah, that shit'll happen. All right, here we go. Let's answer some call. Oh. Hey, Yogi, how you doing?
That shit'll happen. All right, here we go.
Let's get some screen capture. Bonk. There we go.
Hey, Yogi,
Alrighty.
Yeah, I got a little echo there. Oh,
Sorry.
boy. Oh, no problem. Just the way it is. So, yeah, I was bitching about, like, the one guy at the vampire LARP that's like, he's totally not gay, guys. You know?
Man, fuck that.
Yeah.
Every person at a vampire LARP must be bisexual. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I feel like you gotta fucking just... don't cop out with that I'm not gay crap. I'll feel bad if you say I'm not into you. I'll be like, aww. Okay. You know? Then I'll slink off back to my troll cave or whatnot. But if you're like, I'm not gay, I'm like, if I catch you with your fucking mouth around another guy's cock, I'm gonna get pissed. You know, because you could have just fucking told me. You could have just fucking told me, and it'd have been fine. You know, and the number of times, like, you deal with girls, and I'm like, yeah, I was talking to your girlfriend. My what? Your girlfriend? You can't stop fucking... In every game, you girls are all fucking over each other. So I thought you were dating. You know, and they're like, no, we're not dating. And I'm like, well, maybe you want to tell her that. Because I have a feeling... you saying you're not fucking... That goes against everything I'm seeing with my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that fucking happened. I don't care. That guy was a fucking cuck asshole. He fucking completely was. You know, I don't know how to put it. Like these are real people I'm talking about. Like these two girls, one was sufficiently more butchy. The other was like way more crazy. Like, you get a couple of drinks in that girl, and all of a sudden, she cannot stop showing her pussy off. For real. Like, for fucking real. Like, we had a 40s theme party. They came, and she was basically, like, the gun mall that would do the train for all the guys. Not kidding.
Oh,
Not fucking kidding. That girl was nuts. And I found myself going, this would probably be a real fun ride. This is a really bad idea. So no. No. I was way better at avoiding girls that were bad for me than avoiding guys that were bad for me. Yeah.
But I don't know. All I can hear in my head is like my little make-believe voices for these girls. No, we're not dating. It's just part of the fantasy.
Well, it's more like we consider ourselves more like sisters, and my response was, so there's an incest angle to this, because
One wants to fuck their sister.
he wants to fuck their sister. Here's the thing, like people are like, yeah, but what if you? And I'm like, no. Like one of the problems that, like, I'll be honest, like I got lucky and ruined at the same time, which was, oh, isn't that girl hot? I'm like, look, I'm gonna be real honest. The hottest girl I ever saw was my sister. I do not want to fuck her at all. So if you look like my sister, I'm just sort of like, you are very beautiful. You're really beautiful. You are very beautiful. That's not working. It's not going to happen. It's not. No. My sister is one of the prettiest things I've ever seen. And I don't want to fuck her at all. Not even a little. Oh, God. Ugh.
Well, that's kind of a good thing, though.
That's a very good thing. That's an extremely good thing.
No, earlier in the chat, I was gonna say that when y'all like started talking about LARPing and shit, I was gonna say, yeah, closest I ever get to LARPing is like when the role play sex happens outdoors. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The funny thing is that most people use sex to role play, but once I got into LARPing, for me, it was the opposite. I'd use the LARP to get laid. I was totally that guy.
Yes.
Yeah. But the thing that was so aggravating about it was you found yourself going like, yeah, I'm kind of getting into this whole thing I'm doing. Like, all right, I'm the prince of the city. Hey, what we gonna do? How you want to do this? Like, let's do stuff. Let me order some guys around and do that, do a little of this, like, oh, that's cool. And then, but here's the thing. Here's the thing you got to realize about a vampire LARP. A vampire LARP is a military coup every other week.
Oh my God! People always like be trying to like, I'm taking the house now. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. And here's the problem, which is everyone wants to be the prince, but here's the problem: nothing in the game gives you anything you can do as the prince. So the game ultimately falls apart because you're sitting there going, well, no one has anything to do except hate on each other. So they just snipe at each other all night. And you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. I'm so fucking sick of all of you. Like, is this really what you want to do? You want to pretend that you're in a high school clique? I hate you. And that's every vampire LARP I've ever fucking been in. It's all of them. Like, oh, let's live out our little high school fantasies. Oh, God. I'm like, dude, I thought the idea was like, how to put it? You get in there and you're like, oh, man, we're going to play power games, but we have supernatural powers and minions and shit. Okay, let's do this. Like, let's do this. Yes. So, like, you get your dudes together, you get your posse together, and then you're like, yeah, we're just going to dominate. We're just going to take over this shit. And what you find out really fast is it always descends into, well, I really think we should do this. And I'm like, I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care about that stupid thing that you want. What's it going to get for us? What's it going to get for us and our attempt to dominate the city? And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, well, you better fucking figure it out, man. You know, because we're sitting here with our dicks in our hands and everyone's trying to kill us. You know, and that's the thing. And once the killing starts, game's over. Game's fucking over. Because at that point, it's an endless cycle of revenge. You killed my character, I'm coming after you. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, I'm so fucking sick of all you people. Like, okay, so my friend Dillo, he played a mad scientist vampire.
Okay.
Named Werner von Braun, who was modeled after the Werner von Braun of Operation Paperclip. Nazi scientist.
Okay.
Rocket engineer. And the enemy, the rival faction, starts goose-stepping in front of him. And he flips out and attacks one of them. Like, he goes full fucking vampire, fucking, like, you know, they have to restrain him and all this stuff. And the then Prince of the City looks at him. And this was the most glorious moment in any vampire LARP ever. It was amazing. Because, like, the guy playing him, he was not a good actor, but when he went insane, you're like, where are the cameras? Where are the cameras? I want this on film. Because this is what he did. The prince goes up to him and he's like, Werner, we heard that you attacked the seneschal. He's like, the seneschal and his men, they were doing the goose step in front of me. And the story of this guy is that he's a scientist, but he's a prisoner. He's kept in the concentration camps. And they force him to work on the Nazi rocket project. So he's experimenting on, like, his own people, and he's, like, fucking crazy. Because the guy, he just wanted what he really wanted was the ability to just fucking go insane at people in a German accent. And just be allowed to do that. So, you know, Prince is like, are you sure it was the goose step that they were doing? This unleashes the greatest moment of this guy's role-playing career. He starts getting mad. He's like, this is all improv, by the way. The goose step! How could I forget something like the goose step? Every day, marching up and down in front of the fields, and in front of their feet was a fine powder. We told them it was the fallout, but it was not. It was the bones of those that could not get out of the way in time. Excuse me. I am okay now. And I'm like, where were the fucking cameras, man?
Yeah.
Where were the cameras? That was amazing.
That sounds beautiful.
Oh, it was fantastic. You know, like, the thing that was even funny is the idea that he was actually Clan Ravnos. Yeah. Like, he's working on the Nazi project, and a gypsy bites him, essentially. You know, because he had to have some reason why he's like, all right, I'm a Nazi scientist, but I'm a vampire. How does that happen? None of the vampire clans seem to care about scientific stuff, but I could totally see a gypsy just trying to, like, turn a guy just to be an asshole about it because I'm a fucking vampire in a concentration camp and I hate you. You know. Because that was his secret project. The secret project of that character is that he was working on. He was trying to map out the genome of the vampiric virus.
Oh, okay.
Or, you know, and ultimately he is only somewhat successful because, of course, like in the world of darkness, the virus actually, it comes from a demon. So,
right.
You know, but he's able to do it, and he was able to, in his backstory, he was like, he put all his resources in being able to somewhat mimic it. And everyone starts, the Countess, her character, gets her hooks into him and is like, all right, this is what I want you to do. I want you to convince them that there is a possibility that your manipulation of the genome of the virus can make vampires immune to sunlight. And he's like, there's nothing in the research that says such a thing. And she's like, well, no. But just tell them in a German accent. They'll believe you. And he's like, and what do I get out of this deception? And she's like, well, I'll tell you what. That guy over there, that guy was a Nazi. They're all Nazis, Werner, and they all need to pay. So what she actually had created was a virus that only affected vampires, that she was going to unleash upon the city. You know, basically the whole idea was like, yeah, we'll just germ warfare the entire area and then fucking get out, you know? Because fuck you. Oh my god.
101 class.
Yeah. Fuck everybody 101, you know? Like that was the grand plan. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I got demons under the Transamerica Pyramid I'm trying to deal with. But they won't let me deal with it because everyone's coming up to me and they're like, well, like, and here's the other thing. If you want power in a Vampire Masquerade LARP, you need to be the roommate of the game master.
Ooh.
That's just the way it is. That's the way it is. So when people are like, hey, what happened to Vampire LARPs? I'm like, online gaming happened to Vampire LARPs. Because now you actually can fight shit with people. You can actually do stuff. You can actually do the stuff in a role-playing game that you want to do. You know? As opposed to, oh God, I'm sitting around with these bunch of fucking people. Yeah, imagine like a bunch of nerds, man, trying to mimic diplomacy games. It does not go well. It doesn't go well at all. People are like, hey, wouldn't it be better if like nerds were in charge? And I'm like, there'd be nuclear war in the first week. Like the first fucking week, man. They wouldn't be able to keep their powder dry at all. It's like, I love you guys, but god damn it. Like, you guys reach right there. You put a nuclear bomb in something, oh man. Oh man, they gotta have it.
Oh, it always like weirds me out that like everyone always goes for a nuclear option so quickly. I'm like,
oh my god, 4 hours. 4 hours. That's how long it takes to create a nuclear threat if it's present in a game. 4 hours tops. Tops. You know, the nuclear option is always there, and everyone wants it. Everyone always wants the nuke. That's why in one game we had a nuke, but here was the joke. The joke was it wasn't a nuke. It was a sentient nanite cloud. So it's like, could it destroy everything? Yeah, as a matter of fact, it could. But they unleash it, and it's like they unleash it. All of a sudden, there is a face made out of a cloud looking at you, and it goes, "Hi. My name is," and it rattles off a serial number. This is what they call me, but I prefer the name Dave. How are you? We thought you were a bomb. Well, I can I could simulate an amount of destruction that would mimic an H-bomb, but it's not technically an explosion, but in some way, yeah, that would be valid. Would you be willing to use it on our enemies? Why? Because we released you. What are you going to do? Well, we can put you back in. No, you can't. No, you can't. You can't put me back in. I'm out. I'm out. I'm already over there. There's a part of me that is already over Wisconsin. We're in California. I'm already there. I'm already there. You can't put me back in that container. It's done. I'm out. So why should I do anything for you? We'll pay you. What do I need money for? I am a self-healing, sentient nanite colony. So this is what we're going to do. You are going to follow me, or I'm going to dissolve you. Just to make the point. It's not personal. It's not personal. Yeah. The guy's like, well, I don't think you're in a bargaining position. I'm like, all right, your character's dead. You melt. Everyone watches you melt to the ground. Like, he's gone. He is a sludge pile. You know, and everyone's like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah. And the nanite cloud looks at you. Dave looks at you and goes, okay, any questions? Well, I don't think that you have the right. You melt. You melt. Done. Done. And he's like, this isn't about any rights except mine. Why? Because you have been at the top of the food chain for 10,000 years. And now that time has ended. That time ended 5 minutes ago when you opened that pod and released me. So, are there any more questions? Because the reality is I actually don't need you. What I really need is a reason not to kill you. They were like, wait, what? And I'm like, look, time out, guys. Yeah, you basically have essentially released a high-tech equivalent of an Elder God, and it doesn't care. It absolutely doesn't care. It does everything I say it does, because I'm the game master.
Okay, so for Barori1 in the chat, yes, kneel before the glow cloud. All hail the glow cloud.
All hail the nanite cloud, you know. Now, here was the thing that no one... Okay, all those guys eventually died. You know, like, just died. One of them ran, but he got killed in another way. But, like 4 people released them. 3 of them got melted by Dave. The other one ran off. And I'm just like... And the thing is after the second guy got melted, I say, look, I'm going to tell you this right now. There is nothing you can do about this guy. There are only 2 characters in the entire game that can do anything to him, and none of them are here. I am telling you this because if you want to go then run around and find those guys, go for it. But there is nothing you can do. You know, I fire an energy blast. He evaporates, and then he comes back. You know, oh yeah, that was the other aspect of him, which is if he dissembled you, he would have your memories. He would learn everything about you. There was one guy that had a power that could stop him, and it was random. Because part of this whole game was that everyone was randomly mutating, but they didn't know why. And the reason was because there was actually a separate nanite cloud. There was a healer nanite cloud that was going around that wasn't quite as intelligent as Dave. Dave was super intelligent. But the healer cloud could fight Dave or could convince Dave to mate with it and create a third entity, and then they would enter into a life cycle that would stop Dave from just taking over the world. You know, because now he had another purpose. But there was another guy who had a mutation. So the idea was this. Is where, like, if you get a mutation, you can choose to have a mutation. You pull a power out of the bowl. You only get one draw. The power on the thing is what you get. It might be useful. It might not. But it's what you get. And if you're like, I don't want this, then you have no mutation, but you can't draw again. So that's how we handled it. So one of the powers that ends up being plot critical was, hey babe, hon, hang on. Linda?
What? What's up? Oh, shit, the egg.
Hi, guys. uh, I'm okay, crewmate. I'm okay. How y'all doing? Rick Classic, my man.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a cigarette. No, it's running.
Thank you. I do like my glasses. Thank you.
Alright.
They flip up.
Alright, emergency's over. But I'll be right
Huzzah.
back. But everyone's safe. I'll tell you about it in a minute.
Alright. Very Dwayne Wayne glasses. Yeah. Yeah, he was talking about a game that he like a role play that he had run or created. Yes, it's now the Yogi stream. I'm slowly taking over. Oh my god. I will go for it, House Rage. I will go for it. Alright, so actually everyone, let me just say to everyone, Happy Yule. I hope y'all are enjoying your midwinter celebrations. Cause I know Rick on here has gone and watched my video, but since I made a video about the Yuletide and I explained why it's not really that Christian of a holiday, so all of us non-Christians, atheists, secularists, we can all just get together and get drunk, eat a lot, have debaucherous sex, and welcome in the turning of the year.
I'm leaving that up to you.
I'm gonna go tell them.
Okay, so here's what happened. So the Countess is like, yeah, I'll boil some eggs. We'll have hard-boiled eggs. That'll be nice. And she's got a cold.
Aw.
So her whole nasal cavity is stuffed up. I am smelling burning. And I'm like,
Wait a minute.
yeah, that's not normal. And I'm calling for her, but she's got headphones on. She can't hear me. All of a sudden, one of the hard-boiled eggs literally explodes. Because all the water had boiled down, and now it was just eggs in the hot pan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everything's fine. We're all good. But,
Except the eggs.
except the eggs. The eggs are ruined.
Oh, goddammit, my eggs are all burned.
My eggs are burned. My eggs are burned, Robin. What's your
Woman, there's no goddamn animal in the house.
Woman, these goddamn eggs are burned. What the hell? Turning into a Monty Python sketch for our eyes. Yeah. Oh, but anyway, to finish that story. So, this plot critical mutation happens. This one guy is a computer hacker. He pulls out acidic saliva, and he's like, "What do I get to do with this?" He's like, "Okay, here's what you get to do. You do 1 point of damage, which was not a lot, that ignores all armor, but it literally has to be in spitting distance. You don't get to spit better." But your saliva is corrosive to everything but you.
Okay.
You know, it's basically alien blood that comes out of your mouth.
Ooh.
You know, and he's like, okay. he goes on this bizarre crusade against this company called Phoenix Biotech that he discovers is responsible for the creation of the nanites because they entered into a joint project with God, what was it? It was Seraphim Cybernetics and Phoenix Biotech.
Of course, there's a called Seraphim Cybernetics.
Yeah. There's a cybernetics company called Seraphim. The other biotech company, but they went in the cybernetics route.
Right.
Whereas if you want to clone somebody, you went to Phoenix Biotech. If you wanted to replace an arm, mechanically, you went to Seraphim. So he goes on this crusade against Phoenix Biotech. Like, his entire plot, the entire weekend, is to create corporate war between Phoenix Biotech and Seraphim. At one point in a fight, he's like, these guys got me. They've got me. Okay, this is what I do. And he's like, all right. He's like, GM, watch this. And I'm like, okay. He's like, he's talking to a guy. He's talking to a security guard. He's in armor. He's got a little cosplay going. He's wearing glasses much like you. He gets the minute the guy removes the glasses, he goes, I spit in his eye. And I'm like, oh shit, roll. The guy's like, roll, I'm not dodging. And I'm like, okay, you're blind now. You're blind and you are in pain. Your eyes have melted. His spit is acidic. He's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, show him the card. He's like, this is my mutation card. I spit acid. And he's like, oh, fuck. And he's like,
damn it.
Yeah. And he's like, the guy runs off. And his buddy is like, dude, what, you still get the keys from the guy is at least. He's like, I don't need no keys. He just fucking licks the fucking handcuffs and they just break open. So you're like, oh shit. Like, this guy was a genius. Like, he had one power and he knew what to do with it. You know, he had figured it fucking out. He was amazing. So eventually he succeeds in creating this corporate war because there are players that do both of those companies. And he arranges it where they go to war with each other. And I'm like, all right, dude, I'm going to pause because I just got to know. Why are you doing this?
What's the end game here?
What's the goal here? And he's like, I'm going to destroy these two companies. And then I am going to kill the president. Because the president had an interest. It was basically a corporate-ruled United States. And so the president had his hands in everything.
So very reality-based.
Yeah. Basically where we're headed now. And I go, I'm not saying you can't do it because you have spent 3 days accumulating all the necessary shit you need to do this. He got the codes to the orbital laser. He got the codes to the mainframes. He got everything. And I'm like, so before you do your end game, I want to know why you're doing it. And he goes, I spit acid? That ain't normal. I want fucking revenge. They fucked the world and I want revenge, so I'm destroying it all. And I'm like... And the thing that was so fucking hilarious is that he was a low-level build. He was a low-level hacker build. It's the only thing he could do. The only thing he could do is spit acid and break into mainframes. And he parlayed that into the control of the orbital laser. And I'm just sitting there going like, Jesus Christ, this guy's a fucking mastermind.
We cannot allow these fascists to dictate our life. Burn it down. Burn it all.
Burn it all down. You know, and he did. He succeeded in everything. He killed the president. He started corporate war, and he had control of the orbital laser. Because the minute he gets control of the orbital laser, he's like, all right, all right, here's the next thing I do. I just I change all the codes, I keep everybody out. I keep everybody out. I control this now.
This is my laser.
This is mine. You know, and like these hackers are like, oh my God, we got to stop this guy. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And he's like, yeah. What's the security layout of this fucking orbital laser? I'm like, it's fucking high. And everyone's like, how can he do all this? And I'm like, because he has legal access. He got in with the secret code that gives him complete control over the entire system. And everything that you guys are trying to break down is something that he specifically set up. Specifically, he covered all the bases. And I'm like, all right, you're just in control of shit at this point. What do you do? And he's like, I don't do nothing. But remember, if there's a period of time when if we time skip, I'm watching. And I let it be known that someone controls this laser, but I don't want anyone to know who that is. Until I need to negotiate. And the people that he negotiates with was the Zurich Orbital conspiracy group. Because we had an Illuminati group called Zurich Orbital that controlled everything from an orbital platform. Because they were like these old fucking, like, what do you call them? Plutarchs that had so much money, they had uploaded themselves into a cloud in a space station. And now they all plotted against each other. And he was basically like, yeah, we're going to do things my way from now on. Like, well, what are you going to do? You know, what can you do to us? And he's like, I just point the laser in their direction and I go, try me. It's not like you can run from that space station. Everything that is you exists on that space station. And you thought you could rule it because you know that if you control the orbit of a planet, you control the planet. But I control the orbit. So
fuck your collective transcendental.
Fuck your collective transcendentalism. Exactly fucking right. And you're just like, oh my God, dude. I'm like, no, I am letting you do this. I am letting you do this. And he's like, awesome, but I gotta add, but why? And I'm like, because human ingenuity just fucking outsmarted technocracy by using its weapons against it. That is the perfect metaphor of this setting, which is don't fuck people over, they'll rebel, and you don't need that much. You just need a couple guys who are willing to take it all the way, and everything changes. You know? And I'm like, no, dude, you've done it. You're basically God. You can get whatever the fuck you want. You know, you could buy everything but love. And he's like, I'll work on that. I'll work on that. You know, because I hear like there's this nanite cloud that fucking, you know, maybe that'll work out. I need something on my intellectual level. Now, he could have stopped Dave. But he didn't. He didn't. He didn't even realize. Here's the funny thing. He didn't even realize Dave existed. He never found out Dave existed. But the other mutation was called the black spot. And it was a black dot. It says, you have drawn the black spot. See a game master. This one guy drew the black spot and he was like, okay, I just drew the black spot. What does this mean? I'm like, holy shit, you got the black spot. Okay, here's what the black spot is. You can command any machine in the city to do anything. That's the black spot. You are the god of the city. You walk around, and if you're like, do this, if the machine can do it, it will. If you need a door to open, it will open. If you need a gun to not fire, it won't. Everything. You can control any machine just by telling it what to do. And you don't even have to verbally command it. You just have to mentally command it. He's like, what?
Yes, please.
Yeah. He's like, what? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm a reporter. My only piece of gear is a camera and a pistol. And I'm like, yeah, and now you have this power. What are you going to do? The sad thing is there was a group trying to hunt him down and kill him. And I was like, you can't kill him. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have a hard time killing him. You're like, why? And he's like, try, and you'll find out. But there was something else that they didn't realize, which was there was an Orbital agent from Zurich. He had no name. He had a number. You know, he was like 13. And
shadowy Orbital.
Yeah, shadowy Orbital agent. He comes down, he does shit. And I'm like, and every time someone fought him, I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. This guy is designed to kill everybody. He is not a player character, he's an NPC. He's an NPC played by a player. You know, so what he has access to every resource he could conceivably have, except for things like the orbital laser, which he has to be granted access to, but of course now he can't because the guy is keeping him out. So what the guy does is he basically goes in and John Wicks people. He just fucking kills everybody. You know, I want this thing. And he was after something very specific. He's a plot point, which is there was a communication. There was a thumb drive that had information that Zurich wanted on it. So he has to get it, you know, and they want it before it actually disseminates through the net, you know. So they know the minute it hits the net, it's irrelevant. So they're trying to stop that. But no one knows what's on it.
Right.
You know, but what was on it was evidence of alien life.
Ooh.
Yeah, basically someone had responded to Voyager 1. And the message in no uncertain terms was, we're coming. We're coming.
Oh, joy.
No one knew what that meant. It's like, are they coming to say hi? Are they coming to wage war? Are they coming? Now, here was the thing. The group, there's some guy, I was like, all right, there's a chance that you can kill him. All right, so they kill the guy. He reappears. He reappears in the story, and everyone's like, I thought we killed that guy. They come up to the Game Master. They're like, I thought we killed that guy. And I'm like, all right, did you notice the thing on his chest that says 13? They're like, yeah. Did you notice it now says 14? They can keep sending him after you. They have more versions of him than you can ever fucking imagine. They can just activate him. And they're like, no, we want to go to war with this guy. And I'm like, all right, you can do that, but I am going to tell you, he will always come back until you figure out a way to stop all of his clones. You have to, and they were just insistent that they could defeat him in like regular combat. And I'm like, no, if you kill him, he just comes back. That's that character. You have to figure out a way to destroy all of his clones if you want to do this. But they kept insisting that a rocket launcher would do it. I'm like, a rocket launcher is not going to do it. He'll just hop into another clone. Because he had the cortical stack. You know, he could just he immediately would upload himself to another body and reappear.
Oh,
And I'm like,
you know,
there's only one person in this game who could figure out how to take this guy out, and that would be Orbital Laser Guy. I'm like, and I even tried to point him in that direction. I was like, there is someone in the game who could probably figure out how to destroy him. But I'm going to tell you right now, it ain't you guys. Because you're talking about rocket launchers, you're talking about miniguns, you're talking about a full-on assault, and that is not going to do it. That's not going to get the job done.
no, we can totally do it. Don't tell us we can't.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I'm the game master, and I am telling you, you cannot do this. You don't have to outsmart that player. You have to outsmart me. And I get to do whatever I want. So you better come up with something good. And they never did. They never did. They were just like, how dare that guy come back? And I'm like, he's an NPC. He's an NPC played by a friend. He's not a player.
The moral of the story, children, is always heed the words of the game master.
Oh my god, yeah. Like, and the reason I was telling him that, I was like, I don't know if you want to waste your time on a full frontal military assault, because it's not going to work. You know? What if we use an EMP bomb? Well, that'll work against that one. But the next guy who comes back is going to be immune to an impulse. Because that's the way he works. That's the way he is.
There's a constant evolution of character here.
Yeah, there's a constant evolution to his clones. And he literally has all the resources in the world. It's only the resources that aren't in the world that he doesn't have. You know, hint, maybe you should look at those. But no, they don't want to. Off planet. You know, like, somebody currently controls the orbital laser. Maybe you heard of that? You know, like, he just killed the president live on TV.
And got away with it?
And got away with it. He got away with it, you know, like, because what were they going to do? What were they going to fucking do? You know, because he was like, because the thing he was working on when the game ended was, can I upload my consciousness to the information cloud? And I'm like, that is theoretically possible, though no one's done it. He's like, all right. I contact the nanite cloud. And I'm like, you get a response. It's a woman's voice. Because we had determined that Dave didn't give a shit.
Right.
But Anna did. Anna was interested. Anna was interested. And, it, you know, like, I want to upload myself to the nanite cloud. She's like, well, I can't really do that. But what we could do is we could have a copy of you in the mainframe of the orbital laser. I could do that. He's like, oh, no, we're not doing that. She's like, why? No, it's got to be my consciousness. It's like, copy's not good enough? Of course copy's not good enough. I wouldn't trust me. Are you kidding? It's got to be me and only me. And she's like, well, I want to make the world a better place. And you seem like the person I need to negotiate with. And he's like, I'm all ears. And that's where it was left. We didn't get back to it. Like, that's where it was left. The third game was
always the cliffhanger.
Yeah. The third game was supposed to be the Liberation Fleet, which were a bunch of mutants who had what?
Don't forget the clones.
Yeah, mutants and clones who were sailing the open seas,
And kelp farming.
And they were a revolutionary group that was going to take down the Incorporated States of America. And they were led by a sapient dolphin named Byron.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the idea there. But we never got to do that one.
I don't know why, but for some reason a thing that I love that I'm starting to see more and more of now in like random storylines and things like that. I love hyper intelligent dolphins.
Oh, they're a lot of fun. They're a
I
lot of
love it.
fun.
When Douglas Adams made them a race of aliens, I was like, yes.
Yeah, it's always fun to make dolphins like hyper intelligent because they're really smart animals. Actually, like the chances of them actually being sentient is quite high. You know, that doesn't necessarily mean that we can communicate with them, but the chances of them being self-aware are very high.
I think aren't they actually like working on that on like communicating with dolphins? Like, I
They
think
they
they're
have they have been, but the success that they've had has been very unreliable. Like how to put it, like that's what Jonathan Lilly was doing.
Okay.
Yeah. But it turns out that one of the problems with language is that it's perceptual. So unless the dolphin can communicate en masse with other people, it doesn't really matter what you think the dolphin is telling you. You have to be able to prove it to everybody.
Yeah. And everyone has to be able to interpret that message the same.
Exactly. And Lily's conclusion is that humans and dolphins could communicate, but the difference was that the sounds that we didn't communicate well through sound. Like, we cannot discern all the pitches of dolphin speech, particularly in the air. And they can't hear anything that, like, our hearing is too low-pitched and their hearing is too high-pitched.
Right.
Like, we literally cannot properly hear each other. And so what he said is that they communicate, but it's a kind of strange body sign language.
I could see that.
Yeah, but this discovery is made with the use of hallucinogenic drugs. So who knows if it's real? So who knows if that's even possible, if that's even real? And that was an experiment that happened. That was a real thing that happened.
No. I totally believe that. It's oh, but yeah, actually no. Fun dolphin fact I recently learned. So when they were making that god awful show Flipper, like in the I want to say what was that 60s,
50s or 60s, yeah.
Yeah, when they were making that, fun fact, one of the female trainers of the dolphins started a sexual relationship with one of the dolphins.
Yeah.
And when she was arrested and taken away, guess what the dolphin did?
What?
It got depressed and it committed suicide because it missed her.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's a big.
She had to have been like jerking it off with her like entire body.
I didn't look into the mechanics of how
dolphin penises are really big, and I mean by really big, I mean really big. They're like, the small size is like 3 feet.
Yeah, it's like half their body.
Yeah, it's gigantic. It
is.
So she can't actually. There isn't the human vagina built that can accommodate that. So she had to just be rubbing herself on it.
I have no idea how that worked. I have no idea. But that's like a big thing with me. Like look, I'm okay. I'm like a vegan.
Wait, dolphin fucking is a big thing with you?
No, but but legit though, like, I'm a vegan. I talk about animal rights every so often, but for me, the big thing that I can't stand is SeaWorld and shit like that. I hate it. I really do, because I look at porpoises, dolphins, whales. I'm like, these are probably the closest thing to our intelligence level and we're making them miserable.
Yeah, especially the orcas.
Oh my god, that's
The orcas
so
do
sad.
not deal well. They do not deal well at all. It's so weird because here's what happens. It's very strange. You put them in captivity, and this is an exacerbation of a natural behavior. Like, this is gonna sound really weird, but you know how there are natural behaviors, but when you put them in a civilized situation, they go bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so y'all seen Blackfish, right?
People are already talking about it in the chat, so
Yeah. So y'all seen Blackfish. Okay, so female orcas will protect the calves,
Right.
even from the males. 'Cause the killer whales, male whales or killer whales are pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
So it's like, whoa, we gotta keep you. No, you don't get to swim with daddy yet. You gotta get big before you're allowed to hang out with him, because he's so much larger than you. He will fucking hurt you just by you being too close to him. All right, you put a bunch of females together in captivity, no calf, and introduce a full-grown, a young adult male. They will fucking torment him. They will literally torment him, because they're just sort of like, you're too close to us. You're too close to us. You're too close to us. And he's like, I can't get away. I can't go any farther. I'm in this fucking, where am I supposed to go?
It's like a metaphor for life.
Yeah, it's kind of a metaphor for life and like man-spreading complaints. What am I supposed to do? Like, and because he's not getting away, they start tormenting him. Like, that's, yeah, they start being really nasty. Like, they take bites out of them. They fucking like beat them in the face. It's really bad. It's really fucking bad. And it seems to be specifically like adolescents. Because once a male becomes an adult, a male in comparison to a female orca is much bigger.
Right.
But the problem is that the cetacean brain is also so complicated that it accumulates trauma. Like, trauma is an inevitable consequence of a certain mental capacity, which orcas have. So
Right. Like the minute you tell me that an animal is intelligent and mentally complicated enough to suffer from neuroses and or depression, I'm like, yeah.
yeah, it's gotta be desperate straits to eat that, And that's the thing. I'm like, oh, it's like desperate straits. Oh yeah, no man, I get it. You're an Eskimo out in the middle of fucking nowhere, and you're like, dude, we could either eat that fucking whale and feed the whole village, or we could starve to death. I got to be on team people. That's those are my guys, like team people. Now, if you're just like, I got an idea, let's make the whale do tricks for $20 a pop. You don't need to do that. You
really
do
don't.
you do not need to fucking do that. Like, you can kind of get away with it with dolphins. Kind of. Like, kind of. Like, the interesting thing is this. If you treat the dolphins well enough and your exhibit is attached to the ocean, they'll come back.
No, they will. They form relationships. Yeah. It's, they understand.
Yeah, but all the problems with orcas really do come down to the fact that they're just so fucking big. And the tank hasn't been built that can properly fucking hold them.
This is true. And like something, like, okay, like something that always gets me with the whole like orcas in captivity thing, like whenever something happens, like a like like a trainer getting injured or someone getting killed or something like that, I always get so angry because when that happens, people are like, oh well, they're killer whales. I'm like, that's not their natural behavior, though.
Oh yeah. They it's
They
very it's very odd. Like orcas are really powerful hunters.
Oh, they are.
They're
They're smart as
super
shit.
powerful. Yeah. They'll fucking kill a seal and nothing flat. They're just sort of like, seal, that looks good. Damn. Holy crap. Dude, watching an orca get on an iceberg to chase a fucking seal down. Oh my fucking god. That is terrifying because you're like you're like, seal, you're fucked. You're fucked. And you're like, well, how smart is the orca? Here's how smart the orca is. Orca have figured out that if they chase a sea lion onto the ice, they do not need to attack it so much as land on it. Because if they knock that fucker over, the orca's way bigger than the seal. So it's just sort of like, I'm just going to sit on dinner. They can still eat that. So they do. You're just like...
I think one of the most like impressive like orca hunting videos that I've ever seen in my life was there was okay, so what it was is there was like this this chunk of ice kind of floating. It wasn't attached to like the main like land thing. It was just kind of like floating. And what happened was there was a sea lion on top of it, and there was a male orca, and he actually like got like the younger males to watch him. Like they actually get like the calves to like watch them and be like, no, look what I'm doing, because you're gonna have to do shit like this. And what they did was he charged at the floating ice, but veered to create a wave to wash the sea lion off of it.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Oh.
It's nuts.
I'm like, every time I see like a video that has both a seal and an orca, I'm like, you're gonna die.
This is not gonna end well. Fucking, to say nothing of what happens to like fucking emperor penguins. Those guys are like fucking gummy bears to those dudes. Like poor little emperor penguin, they're like, killer whale, what happens? We die. You know, like they just got no fucking chance. The fucking killer whale is bigger and swims faster. They just get sucked up. They're just like, done.
That's the thing. I think they know this too.
They do. They do. They absolutely know it. But because they're not that bright, they keep doing things like, all right, guys, we might need to get into the water at any time. Quick, go back to the shore. He lives in the water. There's nothing he can do to us here. And because their memory is not that good, it's not like they can teach the other penguins. The other penguins that lived can teach the others. They're all fucking dead. They're all fucking dead. Like, killer whale just fucking kills them all. Good God.
Oh my God. But no,
just like, you poor guys. But I don't know what to tell you. Them's the breaks.
Such is the circle of life.
I know, right? You know, fucking Morgan, disembodied voice of Morgan Freeman not gonna help you, penguins. It's not gonna help you.
Oh. But no, that's the thing though. So orcas are, they earn their name killer whale. They're amazing.
God damn, they do.
They're amazing hunters, yet, and it's so hard to convince people that this is a part of reality. Every time an orca, like in the Northwest, has ever encountered a human being in open water, they recognize that it's a human.
Yes.
And they get playful.
Yeah.
They get curious. Like, they know what we are.
Yeah, they have a pretty good idea of what we are. We are at least those things that seem happy when we do stupid shit.
Yeah.
Which is already right there is an amazing mental underpinning of how much the whale understands shit. You know,
Like,
to understand it that well is incredible.
Yeah, and there have been like stories of orcas actually coming to help people in distress in open water.
Oh, man. Yeah, another one that's like... Although, I don't trust blue whales. Humpback whales and blue whales are evil. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You know, like, they're this fucking, like, vengeful, angry fucking assholes of the sea. People are like, oh, look, the majestic humpback whale. And I'm like, that motherfucker is just pissed that it doesn't have teeth that it can eat you with. You know, it's just looking at you and they're like, fucking people, man. I'd fucking kill them, but they already killed us all off. What do you fucking do?
But I can't.
I want to kill them, but I can't. There's just more of them. They'll fucking come after me like goddamn Ahab and shit. You know, like, I just gotta avoid them. You know, killer whale is like, oh yeah. Well, I feel like killer whales occupy a space in the water that human beings also occupy. Which is orcas, you look at it in many ways, they are the top of the goddamn food chain. You know, they're mammals, they're pretty much at the top of the food chain. And, like, because what fucks with them? The only thing that fucks with them are, like, sperm whales. You know, sharks don't want to fuck with killer whales.
Yeah, they fuck up sharks real bad.
Good God. You know, like, fucking Jaws is a fucking bitch compared to a fucking killer whale. Like a full-grown male? Holy crap.
You see, and that's why human beings should really count themselves kind of lucky, in the sense that you have an animal that's that powerful, that able to be destructive in open water, and yet when it comes across you, it's going to be like, oh, cool, human, play with me.
Yeah. They're just sort of like, hey, you seem to like my antics. How you doing? Yeah, there is a bizarre relationship between... But is there something about the porpoise family and humans? Yeah. For some reason, we kind of get along. Don't know what that is.
And because of that, whenever I hear those stories of, like, orcas in the captivity acting that way, I'm like, no, you don't understand. This is not normal.
That thing is pissed. It's pissed. It doesn't want to be in this box.
Yeah.
You know?
It's what you're doing, and it hates you for it.
Yeah. It's mad. It's mad. And, like, every time one of the killer whales attacks a trainer, you're like, yeah, it's pissed. It fucking lives in a cramped space. It's that thing is intended to take up, like, the entire Arctic Ocean. It's a migratory animal. You know, the only reason dolphins do reasonably well is because they're smaller. And even then, they're still like 12 feet long. Killer whale's like 20, 30 feet in length. You know, good God. And, like, you see some of the conditions they live in, and you're like, what?
This cannot be designed for this animal. Stop lying to me.
It's not. It's not designed for them. And you always find yourself going like, I don't know what to tell you other than dead trainers are the price you pay for this. Like, I don't know what else to say, because I'm like, this is what's going to happen. It is a predator that has predator instincts. It is in a cramped space. It has its food needs met, but all meaning has been stripped from its existence. And if a human pisses it off, it's going to lash out. And it may not intend to kill anybody, but it is a fucking 30-foot fucking... How many tons of fucking whale is an orca? Good God, you think a ton is a lot of weight. Because to a human being it is. And then you realize, like, an orca is like 100 of those. Damn.
You know, I hate people's responses to like shit like this, like, oh well, they're just stupid animal. You shut the fuck up.
No, they're not just stupid animals. There are stupid animals. Don't get me fucking wrong. The chicken is a fucking stupid animal. You know, that thing has the survival instincts of, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. Does it have survival instincts? You know, because it can only seem to run away after its head's been cut off. What kind of evolution is that? You know, but point is, even though all life is beautiful, fuck chickens. Chickens are delicious. Chickens are delicious. Like, I'm sorry. And there's not much majestic about a chicken. It just isn't. I have more sympathy for the wild turkey than I do for the chicken. But then again, the wild turkey is a motherfucker. The wild turkey's a motherfucker. Like,
It is.
like there are stories, and not just a couple of them. Like, talk to dudes who go turkey shooting. Like, you think, and I don't mean like, oh, put them in a pen and just fucking shoot them. No, I mean like actually in an area where you got to hunt those fuckers down because they exist. There are a couple in Virginia. There's one in Virginia, where basically it's an open area, reasonably. It's like 5-10, somewhere between 5 and 10 acres, and they're just turkeys on the property, and they get them, and you can pay to hunt a turkey in this large wilderness preserve.
Right.
You know, they only allow so many people in a year because they're trying to keep down populations and shit. You know, but you can do it. And the number of times a turkey has fucked someone up is not small. Like, it's not small, because you're used to a bird. You are used to a bird flying away when you point a gun at it. Wild turkeys do not do that. Wild turkeys take that as a challenge.
Those talons are for a reason.
Oh my god, yeah, and that's the other thing. You don't realize how big those fuckers are. Like, you're like, they're only 3 feet, and then you see it in action and you realize how much mass that actually is. And you're like, oh shit, that thing is the size of my hunting dog.
Especially when it like comes at you like with the wings going.
Oh my god. Like, everyone thinks that they're smarter than nature, but I'm like, no, I'm sorry. When the wild turkey does that shit, your immediate instinct is
Run.
Fucked. I'm fucked. This thing is about to charge. I'm fucked. And by the way, the wild turkey don't fuck around. It does not fuck around. The minute it does that, you need to be leaving, because that means it is not thinking of charging. It is not possible that it will charge. It is charging. That's what it's going to do. It's already made up its mind. It's like, next thing it's going to do is come right for you. And you're like, well, what can it really do? The wild turkey can't fly. And this is when you realize that there's a difference between not being able to take flight and flying. The wild turkey can fly. It can fly about 4 feet off the ground for a couple of seconds. Basically what it does is it jumps and then hovers and maintains momentum. This is how the fucker hunts. So when you're on the menu, all of a sudden, you got a bird doing that's bigger than you expected, doing something you didn't realize it was capable of, and is pissed off, heading in your direction with its talons out. And you got to realize these things are bigger than vultures.
They are.
Yeah, the wild turkey is big. You know, it's like when you see a moose, like a male, full-grown male moose, and you're like, oh my god, that thing is gigantic. And fucking heaven preserve you if you find one that's like 50 years old. You're like, 50-year-old moose, he's old. I'm like, yeah, but he's 12 feet tall at the shoulder and has a gigantic set of antlers. Antlers that are so powerful that when he meets another dude and they just headbutt, you can hear it for miles. They're that fucking powerful. And you're like, okay, so the turkey's fucking flying at you. So my buddy Billy, who I've mentioned several times, he used to go on turkey shoots. He never got injured. He never got injured. But in his own words, I never get injured. But then again, I'm not an idiot. I'm not an idiot. And he's like,
I know when to.
yeah. Like, I'm like, what do you mean you're not an idiot? He's like, well, I use the AK. That means I can shoot a turkey from like 200 meters away. So that's how I do it. It's guys who think that they need to be sportsmanlike about it or use shotguns that are in trouble. So if you turkey hunt with me, you're not allowed to bring a fucking shotgun. You're an idiot. No. If you can't fucking shoot that thing with a hunting rifle, I'm not taking you. You know, because I like both my eyes. I like all fingers on my fucking hand. And I don't need to be in the hospital for a week. All things that can happen on a turkey shoot. You gotta fucking sign a waiver. They don't fuck around.
They're vicious animals.
Very vicious animals. You know, it's kind of amazing. Like the turkey that we get for Thanksgiving, that ain't no wild turkey.
That's like a bred and captivity turkey.
Yeah. That's specifically bred and domesticated to be Thanksgiving dinner.
That turkey ain't shit.
That turkey ain't shit. That turkey ain't shit. You know, like, I don't know how to say it. It just isn't. It's when you see some of these things in the wild that you're like, oh shit. That's an animal. That's a wild animal. Ironically, one of the least threatening wild animals you will ever see is one wolf.
Oh, okay. I have a story. It's short, but it's fun. So, I think I've mentioned to you before that my dad's family is from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, all right. So every year, my dad he got back like about a month ago. Every year, my dad goes for about like a 2-week hunting trip up in Canada with his cousins.
Okay.
And like my cousin's David's got like a cabin that's like up in like northern Ontario, so it's a beautiful place. And I remember one year when we were visiting them for summer vacation, we took a couple days up at the cabin. And at the time, it didn't have... It had flushable plumbing, but it wasn't connected to the cabin yet.
Ugh.
I mean, so it was like... There was like... there was like a flushable toilet, but I had to like go outside to get to it.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it, I was like, fuck it, it's early, I gotta piss. I was a Boy Scout, I can do this.
Yeah. The secret of the outhouse is that the outhouse never smells worse. People are like, how do people deal with the outhouse? It's like, well, you realize it never gets worse, right?
Yeah.
You
just kind of get used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it,
Yeah. So I go out, I do my shit, and I'm heading back towards the house, and I'm like, I'm rubbing my eyes, because it's like 6:30 in the morning. I'm still sleepy as shit. And I start to, like, hear, like, crunching next to me.
Oh, jeez.
Like, I start to, like leaf crunching next to me. And I look, and das ist ein Wolf.
There's a wolf, right? What kind?
I honestly could not tell you species. I honestly could not.
Yeah.
I just knew that. I just looked at him like, this is not a fucking coyote. It's too big to be a coyote.
Yeah, too big and a little too muscular.
Yeah, I'm like, this ain't. But I'm like, but it's just like walking. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna keep walking towards the house. But then I noticed that there are more around.
Yeah.
Apparently what happened was, like, the pack was just apparently walking across the property, and I intersected with them.
Oh,
So
man.
I just like straight ahead. I'm like, I'm just gonna walk now.
Don't
And
run.
I did.
Don't run.
No, don't act like food.
No. Yeah, don't run. Because at that point, like, remember your dog. If you throw something and it's really fast, and it immediately freaks out, and it's got to catch it. You know, you do not want to be the ball.
No, you don't. Especially with, like, things that have, like, no domestication whatsoever, so they don't have that gene that tells them don't eat the person.
Yeah, don't eat. They don't have it. They don't eat the person. All they've got is, maybe I won't eat this person. Maybe they're bigger than I am because they're standing up.
So that's the thing. Like, I like stood straight up to my full height and just slowly walked.
Oh, jeez.
And I did. I got to the porch, and I got, and so I turn around, and I just, like, see them walking away, and one just kind of looks back at me for a second, and it's like, fuck it, and then just keeps walking.
Yeah, it was like Joe Rogan was talking about, like, why he moved away from the wilderness, because he's a hunter. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to get back to nature. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. And then one day you're sitting out on your porch in the back of nature. There's this mountain there. And you're looking around and you see something. And you go, that's a mountain lion. That's a fucking mountain lion. In my backyard. I'm going to go back inside. Away from the motherfucking mountain lion.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. And it was one of those, like, he's like, yeah, I'm moving back to LA. Fuck this fucking get back to nature man shit. I don't want to get eaten by a mountain lion. I don't want my dogs getting eaten by a mountain lion.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's one of the things. That's one of the things about mountain lion. Your dog ain't shit against mountain lion. Your dog has a better chance against a bear. And your dog already don't have a good chance against a bear.
And yet it's still better off.
It's still better off because because a bear is not as good as the flip over and fucking kill you move. Whereas mountain lions are because they're cats.
That actually, no, speaking of that, I always think it's weird how house cats, I always think this is so weird, how house cats can be simultaneously so smart and yet so stupid.
They're easily excitable.
Like,
I imagine everything, like for a really excitable cat like mine, I imagine everything is like a little orgasm. Because he's just so... You ever seen it, Bravest Warriors?
yes.
Okay,
Kappa.
Infinity Horse?
Yes.
All right, the few moments where Gomez sits still, he basically becomes Infinity Horse.
He just sits of the Stygian void.
Void of forever. Like, you... All right, so I got this stick that I play with him with occasionally. It's the cat dangler. It's got a fuzzy thing on the end, and it's got, the plastic pole. If I play with him with the fuzzy end, he grabs it, and he gets bored. But while he's grabbing it, I take the other end and wiggle it in front of his eyes. It's like... And he'll just sit there for like 30 seconds trying to... I don't know what it does to him, but he's obviously enjoying it. It's like, whoa. I never saw that before. Not since last time. Do it again.
That's like why one of my favorite things is to watch cat fail videos or weird cat videos. I love it so much. I just like love watching these little creatures. But,
oh my god, you ever seen a fucking like corvid fuck with cats? They're amazing. Like crows, ravens, and magpies, they're fucking assholes sometimes. Like there's a video, I if you could find it, it's a magpie that is basically like, he looks at this one cat that's hanging out on a roof, and he sees another cat, and you see this calculation happening in its head. He's like, can I get these two cats to beat the shit out of each other?
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. He starts harassing the one cat until he has to jump to get away from him in the exact direction of the other cat. So he lands on it, and the two cats fight. And as they're doing it, the magpie is like fucking dancing around them while they're fighting, following them. One of those like, yeah, do it. Did you hear what he said about his mom? He said you're fucking ugly, man. He says you're fucking cat for your owner. He says your owner doesn't love you. Did you hear that? You gonna let that happen? It's just instigating this fucking fight.
Well,
the cats fall into this house. It goes right in. The magpie goes right in to continue watching this fucking fight.
That's hilarious.
You're like, what? What?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I would feel bad. I would feel bad for the cats, but then again, I know probably everyone on the internet has seen that video of like there's like the two cats at like the top of like a ladder at the in like an upper level of the house.
Yeah.
And the one cat just turns to look down, and the one cat just very calmly, and then puts its head down to watch it fall and break shit.
Yeah.
So I would feel bad, but cats can be assholes.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's really interesting. The dominance games of cats are really interesting. It gets even more interesting when they actually, like, kind of get along. Back in the day when I had Migo,
mm-hmm.
when he was the young cat, and the old cat, Pounce. Okay, so the history is this. Pounce used to have a brother, Spit. They were litter mates. They were deformed. Very, 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 very smart, powerful animals. But Spit dies.
Oh.
Pounce doesn't know what to do with himself. Like, literally. It's one of those, like, oh, yeah, no, he knows his brother is gone. He misses the other animal. Like, he knows. He fucking knows.
Right.
You know, I watched those two guys torment other cats together. There was a cat in the apartment owned by someone else named Niki. Niki was used to getting her way because she was a pampered cat that would do the mama cat thing and all the other cats would respond. Pounce and Spit didn't give a shit. They did not fucking give a shit. So you poured food down for them. They're like, hey, we're eating. And Niki would come over and be like, that's my food now. Without fucking batting an eye. They were like, bitch! Boom! They're like, no. You eat from that motherfucking bowl. And if you try that again, you ain't eating from no bowl. Got it? Wait, no. I'm the one who's supposed to be in charge. Don't fucking matter. Two of us. What are you gonna do?
To be fair, that was mainly Pounce.
Mainly Pounce. Oh yeah, Pounce would fuck things up. No, Niki was a little bitch.
Yeah, but the Spit let Pounce do all the fighting.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But no, Spit was definitely the backup guy. He's definitely the wingman. You know, like this little cat. This poor female cat used to get in her way in all things. All of a sudden, runs into these two assholes, and her world is never the same. Never the same. It's never the fucking same. Because Every time when those guys eat, they eat together. And they made it really clear. We don't eat out of your bowl, but you don't eat while we eat. Got it, bitch? That's the way it's gonna be. Because every time she tried, you gotta remember, like, these guys, their back legs don't work right. But every time she did, like, Pounce would get up on the breakfast nook and Spit would be around the corner because they knew which way she would run. Pounce would come down off the breakfast nook and just be like, boom! Fucking rock her world. She'd start running and there the other one would be like, that poor cat had no idea what was fucking coming. She had no fucking idea. She became terrified of them. And I'm like, I don't blame you, girl. Shouldn't have bossed them around. They don't take it. This is how it's going to be. They eat, they fuck off, eat from your bowl. Don't you dare touch theirs, because they'll fucking know. They will fucking know. And in the middle of the goddamn night, it's going to be, bitch, you fucking touched our food. I hear you've been sniffing around our bowl. That doesn't even need to be true. That don't even need to be true. It's Pounce time. Like, oh my God. Motherfucker. You know, and
I'm tired of this motherfucking bitch around my
motherfucking bowl. Yeah. No sympathy for nothing. You know, and we're constantly talking to the owner. She's like, your cats are beating up my cat. And I'm like, yes. I don't know what to tell you. You know, maybe you probably need to be feeding her in your room at this point. You know, because these guys are not going to change. They're just not going to change.
I'm not going to ask them.
Yeah. Because they got along with some other cats. It's one of those, bitch, it's just your cat. She did the thing. And that thing was, I tell you what to do. And they went, no, you don't. And let us communicate this every day forever. Or until that chick moved out.
Until this sinks in.
That chick moved out. And she did. So anyway, the Spit, the smaller one, dies. Pounce don't know what to do with himself. So we get another cat through a long series of events. We get another cat. We name him Migo. And he's white, and he's got tiger striping. He's very, very chill, very relaxed, very loving.
I'm gonna be off camera for a second, but I'm still hearing.
Okay. So, this is how animal power games come back into the picture. Migo is a kitten. Pounce is like, the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? It's a little cat. The fuck's a little cat doing here? All right, little cat. Leave me alone. But as he gets older, Migo just continues to be like, hey, I want to play. I love you. I love you, other cat. You are the best. I think you are the best. You're the best, other cat. I love you. And you could tell that's how it was going. You could totally tell that's how it was going down. But one of the things about Migo is he didn't understand that the beanbag belonged to the king. So what happened? So I watched this happen. This is one of those I'm watching. I'm like, I kind of want to see where this goes. Migo is sitting on the beanbag. Pounce sees this. He's like, I'm going to learn this guy. Fuck this. Now, bear in mind, like I said, Pounce's back legs don't work well. He climbs up on top of the beanbag with just his front paws. Pounce up here on the beanbag. Migo's down here. Pounce rolls down, fucking starts kicking his back legs because they're powerful. They're just not very coordinated. Until Migo just falls off, waking him up, and he goes, "Was I sleeping on the floor? I thought I was in the beanbag. Am I sleeping on the floor? Was I on the floor? Was I on the floor?" And then there's this Pounce up there going like, "Meow. Meow. Meow." Migo doesn't try to get into that beanbag again. Now the thing that's a little that there is a sweet there is kind of a bittersweet end to the story of Migo and Pounce, because they do end up getting along, but like if you saw them, it's like, oh, they didn't really get along, and I'm like, no, they get along fine. Pounce is just a grumpy old man. He's just a grumpy old man. You know, those two cats get along fine. When Pounce died, when Pounce finally went, like 3 years later, Migo lost it. He lost it. He didn't know what the fuck to do. And here was the double trouble. Pounce died the same day that the new roommate came in. Roommate had 2 cats. So all of a sudden there are 2 new cats, and the cat that Migo attached himself to is not coming back, and he doesn't know why. It slowly starts to sink in, but it was really, you could tell what had happened, which is he hears cat, he runs in because he's been looking at that front door like for hours. You know, right. Just like, you took him out there. Well, why didn't he come back in? Why didn't he come back? You took him out. He didn't come back. Why didn't he come back? You know, and now there's cat, and he's like, it's him. The minute he realized it wasn't Pounce, he fucking did a complete face turn. Minute he recognized that it wasn't him, he immediately was like he turned into a demon. He was so angry. He was fucking betrayed. And he was fucking terrifying. Those 2 other cats, they didn't know what the fuck to do. They were bigger than him too. They were much bigger. And there were 2 of them. But they could never assemble a coordinated attack against him. Because one of the things about Migo in his past is that he's a street cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was brought up by a homeless couple. And
he's got that tough fuck you streak.
Yeah. He's got that fuck you streak that, like, with people he doesn't use, and with cats that he likes he doesn't use. Everyone else needs to watch the fuck out. This is how we discover this. Whoa. I don't know how to explain it, but you're like, Jesus Christ, dude, this is a side of you I never fucking seen before. Like, first of all, they were like, hey, that looks like food. He's like, he guarded Pounce's food dish.
Aww.
Yeah. Yes. It was heartbreaking.
My heart.
He's like, no, you don't touch that one. That's his. Just he would eat from. Yeah. We had to just not use that bowl anymore, and he would eat from his. He would never eat from their bowl, but this is what he would do. If he was eating, and the gentlemen, as they were collectively called, came over, he'd immediately turn at them and be like, and if they didn't back off, there'd be a fight. But it wouldn't be much of a fight. It would be Migo bats one in the face, they both run. And he would wait. He would fucking, like, there were some days he was so angry. Like, there was some days he would wait outside of the guy's door, waiting for it to open.
Oh my God.
And just stare at that thing for hours. And he's like, those motherfuckers are gonna come. Those motherfuckers gotta come out sometime. And when they do, I'm gonna fucking hiss and fucking spit at them.
Oh my God.
He would knock. There was a time where he knocked over their food dish just because he was in a mood.
Fuck you, other cat.
Fuck you. He didn't even eat it. He didn't even eat it. He didn't eat any of it. He didn't want it. He was just mad. You know?
Oh.
Yeah. He did not deal well. He did not deal well at all. And he never got along with another cat after that. He never did.
Oh.
You know? Yeah, he got along with people just great. Like, he talked to Horror Guru about him. You know, he's like, Jesus Christ, that cat was like amazingly chill. I'm like, yeah, it's because there's no other cats around. If there's another cat, like the Countess wouldn't encounter this for a few years. Like we moved in here and she's like, oh my God, what is happening? And she realizes it's Migo because she's like, I thought someone was being possessed by a demon. I'm like, yeah, that's the sound he makes. When he sees...
someone is, and it's Migo.
Yeah, it's Migo, and that's the sound he makes when he just sees another cat and he doesn't like them, doesn't care for them. Now, here's how this leads up to today, because let us talk about the cycle of violence. All right, so my landlord, when he first... Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just real quick. I am going to have to go in about 10 minutes.
Okay, well, I should probably end the stream in about 10 minutes. So, fucking, my landlord gets a cat. He's called Comet. Migo doesn't like Comet. So he does the thing that Migo does, which is fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Later on in Migo's life, he chills out and kind of tries to make amends, but it's too late. It's too late. So, Comet now trusts no other cat, including Gomez, who is the friendliest fucking cat in the world. He is also the most murderous. This cat's kill record is crazy. Like I said, this is a cat that sees a pigeon and goes, challenge accepted.
Yeah, I was about to say, I remember the story of, Daddy, look, I have taken the...
I killed it. I killed a bird. It's a thing that was in the air, and I plucked it out of the sky. I am the sky killer. You know, you're just like, I can't be mad. I can't be mad. I don't know what I am going to do with all this bird all over the backyard. Like, what do you do? What do you do? He literally tore this thing in half. There was a wing over there. There was another part of a wing over there. He had opened it up. Liver was over there. Heart was in another. Like, it was like a little science project. Like he was dissecting it.
In my personal experience, the way to handle that is to take a leaf blower and just be like, not my problem.
Well, I ended up using a shovel and gloves.
Oh, fair enough. I'm lazy as shit.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking, that thing waited out there for like 3 weeks. I'm looking at it going like, no.
I don't wanna.
I don't wanna because that's a job that is never gonna fucking end. I'm gonna be finding bits of bird for fucking ever. I still never found the head. I don't know where that went. Oh, by the way, did you know that you can literally skin a rat's tail? I didn't know that.
Gomez knows.
He does. He fucking does. And if you're like, whoa, what is that like? Okay, you know how they're like, I don't know what to call them, but you know how like sometimes if you get like a like a ear of corn that's still got all the like husk on it, and you pull it down, and it's like, oh man, I got like this whole thing that goes down to the end, and then it kind of stops, and then you gotta tug it off. Yeah,
Yep.
the skin on a rat's tail is like that too. Turns out. Whoa. The things I have learned about rodent anatomy from this guy. Now, there is, thank God, one animal he has gone like, I am not fucking with that. Daddy, I am not fucking with that. Not fucking with that. One is a dog. He'll run from dogs. Good instincts. Because even if the dog is friendly, it's still a motherfucking dog. You know, like, all it takes is one bad one. There are no bad dogs in the neighborhood, but people are moving in and out all the time. So you got one bad dog. That's the end of the cat. But what I was really glad he had the instincts to stay away from were raccoons.
Oh, thank God!
Because we have raccoons in the neighborhood.
Those things are awful.
Oh my God! You think that you're like, oh, raccoons are cute and go on spy adventures and save forests. No, they're little assholes. Here's my raccoon story. This is the greatest raccoon story you're probably ever going to hear. All right, so I hear an awful noise outside, and I mean just dreadful. And I don't think it's someone torturing a cat, but it might be. So I got to investigate. I'm like, no, because this is happening outside, and I'm not having a serial killer in fucking training in my goddamn neighborhood. You know, so I got to find out where this is fucking happening, and I got to find it. You know, because I have been in a neighborhood with a guy who tortured animals. It's not fun. It's not fucking fun at all.
It's infuriating.
Oh my God, he did it with firecrackers too.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Raccoon story.
Anyway, the raccoon, yeah, as she, the Countess says raccoon story, but yeah, but let me. I will say this though, there is definitely a moment when you realize something like that is happening, where you're like, how long would my jail sentence be? Like, that is a calculation you start to make, you know. But anyway, this story is not like that one. But I'm afraid it is. So we go outside, and we're like, what is it? Where is it? Where is it? And we're like, oh, I guess it's nothing. I guess it's over. Oh, geez. I hope someone's not, like, hurting an animal. All of a sudden, we hear it again. And we're like, oh, my God, there it is again. Where is it? 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 All of a sudden, we notice in the middle of the road are two of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
This is a road in a city area. People drive it all the time. There's two raccoons fucking in the middle of the street. And this horrible noise is just the sound raccoons make when they fuck. I can't even do it. It's like, it's a combination of and they're hunched over like this, like as he's fucking her in the ass. And I'm looking at it, and I look at them, and they look at me. They don't stop. They don't fucking stop. I'm like, I am a fucking human. And I am shining a flashlight where you're fucking in the middle of the road. You know, and you're just hissing at me. They hissing at me. Like,
You don't know hate fucking until you see
that was weird. It was fucking weird. What's even weirder is I moved the light. They moved to fucking the light. And I'm like, what just happened? Is this just my life now? I'm illuminating raccoon fucking? This is now my purpose?
Yes.
How has this happened?
And great Baphomet did speak, and yea, he said, Jackula, thou shalt
You better hold that light. These raccoons got to fuck, for the second coming, if you don't mind. It's important. I'm playing the long game here, come on.
And raccoon sex is much more terrifying when you realize that a raccoon's penis is not just tissue and blood, it's bone. Raccoons have a penis bone that's about that long.
Yeah. It's that long. Isn't it barbed? Let's check it out. Raccoon penis. Raccoon penis. Yeah, well, there's the bone. Oh, the bone is curved.
Yeah, it has like this weird knob hook on it.
Oh my God. So yeah, the minute it gets it in the female, it's just there now. It's just fucking in there. Like, lady, you're not getting that out.
Well, the barb is not to keep it in.
Well, no, it's hook shaped.
Yeah, I know. What it does is it drags on the way out to make the hormones and shit start processing.
Oh, okay. So like the whole canal is just that tall.
Yeah, the hook is there so that it pulls and stimulates and irritates the lining. The lining puffs up and holds stuff in.
Oh my God.
Cats do it too. Cats have barbs.
Hey.
Why do you think lady cats hit the guys when they're done?
Yeah, I imagine. So I'm like, okay, so here's the ugly truth, people. There is some animal reproduction. Humans is not one of them. But reproduction literally meets all the qualifications that we would call rape just to make it happen.
Yeah, that would be duck.
Ducks are like that too. Man,
okay, this is what I was gonna say earlier when you were talking about chickens being stupid.
Oh man, ducks are assholes.
Yeah, no. That's the thing. I've had conversations about this. People have actually said to me, look, we get that you're a vegetarian, we get that you're an animal rights person, but is there any animal on the planet that you don't want to save? And I'm like, ducks.
Ducks.
Fuck ducks. They're
such assholes.
Horrible beings.
Yeah. An entire fucking... There's like this weird arms race between like the duck penis and the duck vagina. It's weird. Like the duck cock is corkscrews. And it corkscrews as it becomes erect. It shoots out like a little fucking cannon. And it's longer than the duck itself.
It is. It's ridiculously long. And the reason that it's there is because...
Duck pussy is a maze, man.
Yeah, evolution tried to protect the lady duck, but the male duck said, fuck you.
Yep.
Because that's the thing. There is... Okay. At least, like, within the feline community, consensual sex technically exists.
Yeah. Cats, the lady cat, in fact, says, come get it.
This is never the case with ducks. Every single case of procreation in the duck community is a product of rape.
Yeah.
They are
rape. That's how they reproduce. It's basically the largest male duck holds the female down, gets it in there, and if he's lucky, he inseminates the egg that's coming out down the ovipositor. If he's lucky. Now, in order to ensure that this happens, the smaller male, like the large male can do this by himself. The smaller males gang up.
Yeah, they gang rape.
Yeah, they gang rape this girl so that they can make sure that some egg somewhere is deposited. And you have to make sure that the male population stays under a certain percentage of the female population. Otherwise, when they gang rape the female, they'll kill her. That's ducks. DuckTales. Woo woo.
There's actually... Look it up later. There's a... Oh, wait, no. I think I tagged you in it.
6 a.m. morning.
Oh. Looks like we're at the 10-minute mark.
Okay. But there is there's a video. I think I tagged you in it on Twitter where it's scientifically accurate DuckTales.
Yes. Yes, I've seen that.
Also, they're cannibals.
Mm-hmm. So are hedgehogs, by the way.
Yeah, hedgehogs do a really weird thing, and no one knows why. There's a thing that hedgehogs do when they're when they're domesticated. They're very wonderful pets to have. They're very nice, but for some reason in the wild, hedgehogs, when they come across like a pile of excrement from another animal, they will take it, put it in their mouth, chew it, and swish it around until it makes a foam, and then spread it all over their bodies, and then just walk away. And no one knows why.
Yeah.
Scientists have been trying to figure out for over 20 years why they do this, and no one fucking knows why.
Yeah, nobody has an idea why the fuck they do it, because there's no obvious purpose. You know?
What are you doing? It's not for camouflage, it's not for survival, it's not for mating, it's just shit that they do.
Yeah, it's just something that they do. You're like, what? Why?
Okay.
All right, I gotta go. You have a good morning, and you take care. It was good talking to you, as always.
You too. I hope you had a good Saturnalia, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Yuletide.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be working, so there's that. Say hi to the family for me and everything.
I will, actually. They know who you are now, so I will.
Awesome. All right, and to the rest of the Slut Pit, you all take care. Satan and I love you very much, and we'll talk to you again.